whatever change we make on one side, it's going to exponentially show on the others. Arts, coming back to arts, there is this, I love going to that place. It's called Kiran Nadar Museum of Art. There are two museums, one is in Noida, one is in Saket. And I work quite closely with them in terms of I used to take my kids from school there, and I also take my own children there. And I ask them, what is it that you get? It's an HCL run facility. And I said, what do you get out of this? You're calling all these children here and you're supplying all the material that they need to do this activity. So if I want to, in fact, my children, I've got some paintings in my house which my children made there. So they said just one thing, that we start appreciating arts, finer arts. Whenever, and I've seen this not only in traditional middle class households, but in almost all households, when children say, I want to be an artist, uh, while it is very posh to say, okay, that's nice, but parents slyly start to take children away from those careers and put them towards careers which are considered more monetary beneficial. It is it is important for children to have exposure to just about everything that they see around. Arts, and arts itself can bring in a lot of concentration. Whenever the little children, A for apple, when they fill up that apple is not to make them an artist, but also to develop the skill of concentration, edges, corners, lines. So I think integration can happen everywhere. However, I have to say, I'm not the best person to answer this question. So maybe somebody else, if I've not answered it to the best of your capability, you may raise it again, and the others can answer it better than me.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Vidushi. So with this, we come to the end of this session. I thank you all, Anita ma'am, Savita ma'am, Pankaj sir, and Vidushi for joining and taking out time. So I would
I'll
request.
connect with everybody. It's great to meet you all here.
Same here, same here. Thank
Right,
you, thank
right.
you.
So I'll request if we can have one concluding remarks from each of you, and also we have started one practice. If you are given a chance to run the education of this country, if you given a chance to become the Minister of Education, so what would be your one priority? So I guess Anita ma'am would make it compulsory to participate in Maths Olympiad for everyone. So so I would request if you can suggest that what would be that first priority कि ये काम तो करना है और ये सबको करना है. So I would request Anita ma'am, if we can begin with you, your concluding remarks, and then as a Minister of Education, what would be that priority? Anita ma'am.
You see, I loved one line in the new education policy, and I didn't spoke about this. I said that they introduced two words, inclusive and equitable. And when this word equitable is used, this was defined as that every child has the right to dream, to thrive, and to contribute towards nation. And I think if we can give this right to every child, my first priority will be this only if I will be given a chance. That every
Absolutely.
child should be able to enjoy his right of learning.
Right. Thank you, Anita ma'am. Now, Savita ma'am, your concluding remark, and what would be your priority?
I think taking out the priorities is very difficult, but still, I would say that if I would get a chance, so I would try to work out on assessment systems, because assessment system uh, is a kind of fear which is making the teacher to teach the curriculum, not the students, where I feel very pity on this part, that they have a particular curriculum and they want to teach it. That's why they leave the student aside and they carry on with the teaching of curriculum, which is not good. Why? Because assessment is there. So that assessment policies has to be learned first. What is that? And why are we assessing? So for me, I think I would always do something for learning is very pure for learning only, not for assessments. In the same way, I think Pankaj sir would also be very happy to have this kind of scenario where 60% is a bright student from inside and 90% is a failure in an interview. He or she is not able to compete. That gap is bridged up. So I love to do something on assessment policies.
Assessment. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Savita ma'am. Now I would request Pankaj sir. Sir, your remark and yeah.
So first of all, Rajul, thank you for making us the education minister, right? Maybe for a minute. So thank you for that. I really enjoyed that, and that's my luck. I had a two session today. The second session is the second chance. Today I got two chances to being a education minister, right? So what I would like to suggest here, because there is always a gap. When I say gap between the two, there are two main stakeholders here. One is the student. One has to be student centric approach, which normally every good school is in that forum. Second is the teacher, because you have a senior teacher, just and that's very important in the system. A teacher who got up for 40 years of age, 50 years of age, because and then a teacher who just came out from the completed her or his B.Ed and start educating. So there is always a gap between that teacher and the student, and how we can reduce that gap. We should have some sort of system. Maybe it's a technological gap or some other gap. We can create some system in the education policy, or so that we can have the minimum gap. The advantage of reducing this gap is the understanding or the learning outcome will be 100%. Whatever we want to make sure that students should learn, they will definitely able to achieve that. Thank you.
Right. एक उस पे I have just a small thought, sir. जैसे आपने बताया that whenever you talk to your son after giving the mobile, you just discover that there is another feature in the mobile phone. तो उसका तो solution एक ही है ना, जितना ज्यादा बात आपस में करेंगे, जितना communication होगा, the gap can only be reduced after the communication. जितना दोनों एक दूसरे को जानेंगे, strengths को, limitations को. So the more and more communication in today's time, like we have the teacher-student ratio. So yeah, you have something, Pankaj sir.
No, that's you well said. That's the whenever we will speak more, then there's a less communication gap. But if you are at home and you are talking to your wife too much, then there's a gap will increase.
नहीं वहाँ तो बढ़ जाता है, वहाँ तो बढ़ जाता है.
I want to add something into this, what Rajul has just said. Communication is very good. But I think when you are learning from juniors, I mean, children are taking you to a new ride of anything, you must appreciate that. So that acknowledgement and appreciation gives them the motivation that you love them and you are caring for them and you know that they are doing something good to you. So this kind of process will go on. Communicating is this only. There are some gestures, even a word can speak bounties about it. So if you are appreciating, wow, great, you made me do this thing, you are my teacher. So this is actually all teachers have to learn, and every time a question which is coming to them should be taken with open arms. Not like this is out of the syllabus, you are asking, ask me after the class. Instead of telling all these things, we should appreciate there and then. So that acknowledgement is assessment, I'm telling.
Right.
I'm
And some educators
about assessing someone and acknowledging someone there and then. Which is
absolutely, ma'am. In fact, appreciation would come naturally when someone understands some others, the entire situation and world.
Sometimes parents do something else. How do you know all these things? It means you are crazy about all these things. Now you stop doing these things. Or take it in the other way, that how do you know all these things? So this is something, sometime it happens that, wow, great, you have learned yourself. I have learned it from YouTube, Papa, or something. The child will say, okay, fine. Then you will not be snatching phones from them. Then you will have an idea that the child who is doing, you see, Kaun Banega Karodpati, if you guys have seen it, I love that program when Vedantu children have come. They have given such wonderful answers and so quickly. We could not find that we are giving the answer. They were the first to write everything.
Right. Absolutely.
So this is what they have been brought up.
Absolutely. So big thanks. And now I would request Vidushi, your remark and what would you do as priority as Minister of Education?
only one thing for me, small goals, one step at a time. I would create an atmosphere which incentivizes curiosity, which incentivizes asking questions. I think my school, if I were to open a school, I would call it, here I go, the question school or the curious school. If everybody just asked questions enough, because question का एक ही response है answer. पूछेंगे तो पता चलेगा. I
Good.
think that's my,
Right.
yeah. And
So
Rishi, I just want to add here one thing since Rajul is here. If you keep attending this kind of a session, the day will come you can start your school. Rajul has good connect.
yes, sir.
right.
But
So
you know what? Can I also say something?
Yeah,
When I was doing, when he invited me, and I was thinking, all these experienced people are there. I was a little scared, but you guys included me quite comfortably. So
To acknowledge
you are well supported. Sorry, ma'am. You are well supported. The kind of books you have, and really, I really scared. You must have read all these books. This
I've
is
tried over a period of time. Yes.
really, it's really very good. I have never studied these kind of books in my entire life, and really,
right.
Thank you. So thank you for making this
sorry,
easy and kind on
Savita
me.
ma'am was saying something. Sorry, Savita ma'am was saying
I
something.
was just telling that Vidushi, every family is a school. Don't worry. You have children with you, you have elders with you, carry on. You are running a school. Every family is running, and pandemic has made us masters in it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now families are teaching. So you
Right.
can apply those things in your own family. And
Right.
definitely
Absolutely.
it will bless you to have a school, wonderful school with wonderful ideas.
Right. So with this, we come to the end of this such a wonderful and very special session of leadership talks. Big thanks, Anita ma'am, Savita ma'am, Pankaj sir, Vidushi ji, for joining, for taking your time. I also thank all the participants who have been with us for last almost 1.5 hours. So big thanks. This was for the day. We end the session here. Thank you.
Wishing you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank
Same
Same
to
to
you
you.
all.
Same
Thank
to
you.
you. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you,
Thank
Rajul.
you,
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
everyone.
Anita ma'am. Thank you, Savita ma'am. Thank you, Rajul. Thank you, Pankaj sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Anita ma'am. It is a great platform where we two meet together. I'm
And I
sad.
think we are meeting here more often, than meeting in the schools or the other meetings.
Ah, good. Thank you.
Right.
Vidushi.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was
Bye-bye.
lovely with you, Vidushi and Savita ji. You are always very nice to hear to. And Raju, thanks for providing us this opportunity.
Thanks to you, your support and guidance, Anita ma'am and Savita ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
And-
I
okay.
think it's by chance, but it's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
Vidushi. Bye-bye.
Bye.